are you different from each other, or even similar to each other?
I would say that we are not so much different.
Okay.
I think we have different temperaments,
Okay.
but we are very much similar. She's also like a people's person.
Yeah.
Just that I am on a different level.
But interestingly, you look more reserved until you start speaking.
Yeah.
That's when you know that he's really outgoing.
When I meet people, like
when you are comfortable.
Yes.
It's easy for me to make connections.
Right.
For him,
It takes
it's a
time
bit
to warm up.
slow, but as soon as he's comfortable, he
then it
takes over.
flows.
There are a lot of people who are my friends that I got to know through her. I would say now
you have taken over that friendship.
He didn't know anybody here, and now everybody calls him and not me.
Wow. Okay.
So we're quite similar. Yeah, not so different.
Okay. Nice. I think that also makes the marriage nice because you can do so many things in common when you have similar.
We have similar interests. Yeah, and as we said earlier, we worked together in the media department. So I was in charge of content, and she was doing projections. So it's like we think along the same lines. And recently, I don't know, I have such a passion to do designing.
Okay, and that's what he does.
And that's what he does.
Wow.
Like when he does a design, I have to approve it before he sends it to a client. So it's like we are.
It's good with criticizing design.
Okay.
Yeah. So it always we complement each other in a beautiful way. Yeah.
Wow. So am I correct to say that you are a happy couple?
I would say very happy.
I always say this from the first day, like we started dating till the time that we sit here. It's never occurred to me to look back and say, "Oh, I have regretted getting to know this person or that." Not to say that there's not been challenging times. I mean, we are humans, so there are a lot of times that we disagree, basically almost every day. Because just like you see her, she speaks her mind, and I also do.
Very vocal.
Yeah, we are all very vocal, and we always want to sort of stick to whatever we say. So we have sort of friction here and there, but we always know that I have her and she has me. So when there's any disagreement between us, we agreed that it will not go beyond like the night.
Okay.
Yes, you can be angry. That's fine.
Yeah.
But then it shouldn't go into the next day.
Okay.
We do our best to get it sorted before we go to bed. Once we wake up the next morning,
it's over.
It's a fresh day, and you don't have the right to be angry.
Wow.
We all agreed on that.
It's really a hard thing to do when I feel like I am in the right.
Yeah.
But one person has to give in. And when I'm very angry, I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
I'm opposite of being angry and being silent because you feel like you don't want to talk. For me, I want to trash the issue
get it out of the way.
and get it out of the way. But then she's like the opposite. And so I needed to sort of agree with her on that. Know that yes, we are different and it's okay to also be angry. And so if she's angry, let me give her a little rope to be angry, and then afterwards we can talk about it.
Right. That's very good to know. And I hope that many couples that are watching right now, you can adapt some of these, a gentle rule that can help you both to sort out your issues without escalating it. Because sometimes if you don't control it, then it gets out of hands. And so thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it's very important. So because you've had a few misunderstandings here and there, is there anything as a wife that your husband did or said, maybe during one of those arguments or one of those misunderstandings, that you feel like I've still not forgiven him?
I wouldn't remember.
Okay.
Have you said something like that before?
I feel like yes, there may be stuff that we may have said to each other that were not pleasant.
Right.
But what happens is that when we have such arguments, we still do evaluation or something.
Okay.
After when we've
When you
all
calm down.
down, and then trash things out and say that yes, I know you were angry, but this was uncalled for. You shouldn't have. And then if there's a need for us to apologize, we do that and we move on.
Okay.
And probably that may account for the reason why she may not remember what they have said. You don't just say these things. It's from our heart. If I am sorry, I am sorry. I let her know that yes, I may have gone out of way saying this, and I am very much sorry. We are remorseful about that.
Right.
We let each other know.
I can say from the other way.
Yeah.
I used not to speak good tree.
Okay.
Because I learned tree.
Right.
Like as I said, French is your first language. So
French and Wolof.
French and Wolof. Okay. Yeah. So it's like I came to Ghana in 2010.
Right.
So that's when I started to learn tree.
Right.
And sometimes I might say something in tree and
it
it's insulting because he is Ashanti.
Right.
Ashanti. Ashanti.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ashanti me.
Okay.
Right. So all the time, even when we go and visit his family and all that, we have to issue a disclaimer.
Okay.
So just pardon her if she says something or So sometimes I might say something that is not right. Yeah. And he say, what did you matter? And I'm like, I didn't know. How should I say it? Then he corrects me.
Right.
So this actually did not come easy.
It wasn't
because
easy.
I grew up in Kumasi. I'm a Kumasi guy, and so Mitichi.
Yeah.
My mom, my dad, they are Ashantis, Mitichi. And sometimes unknowingly to her, I think I just needed to apply wisdom. I needed the Holy Spirit to guide me get through that stage. Yeah. Other than that, frankly, probably would have broken her home because there were stuff that she unknowingly would say, which are insulting. To an Ashanti person, the person will say no.
But she didn't mean harm.
She did not mean harm. And so, especially if you are probably marrying a different tribe or if you are marrying a different nationality, you should have that at the back of your mind, especially in the early stages of your marriage, that these things are likely to come up and you should know how to handle them. Her P wasn't this good. She's not speaking P, but if she were to be speaking P, you would have known. Her P, I still correct her in certain things. It's just even about communication. It happens with a lot of stuff. Food. Because,
she's not used to the Ghanaian food.
Exactly. And recently, a friend visited and I made fufu. I usually make the fufu in one bowl, one round thing, right? And then I serve him. And then my lady friend, she's also Ashanti, so she was like, "Is this how you serve your husband?" And I'm like, "It's fufu."
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
So and then I just she was like, "No." She made mention of something, like she explained it in tree. I can't remember, but you have to cut it in two.
Yeah, that is for how do I even put it? Not for husbands or for daddies. It's for your sons or outsiders, and even outsiders, people that are equal to your husband. You don't give them one big ball of fufu. You have to sort of.
Wow.
I learned
the cultural differences. Yes, can also bring a lot of issues.
I mean, for me, I knew that. She's not Ashanti, so
so it was
I had totally thrown that out of my mind. I never complained about it, and just like I said, she needed to learn how to make the kind
Ghanaian
of
food,
one Ghanaian food and the Ashanti type.
Wow.
Growing up, there are types of soup that I'm not used to.
Yeah.
My mom knows, and that's what she's been doing for us.
Yeah.
Probably when you go
it's so difficult to make.
When you go outside of Kumasi, that is not the normal soup.
Yeah.
You know, even in lice soup, in making lice soup, the typical Kumasi lice soup
is different.
It's a little bit different.
You know, when we go to fufu discussion, it will take the whole day. The whole day.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. So literally, what you are trying to say is that even the cultural differences, the kind of food you eat, the language, everything can be a challenge.
Yes.
Especially in the early stages, if you are not married from the same tribe. So maybe this is why sometimes our parents will say, marry from the same country, marry from the same tribe, but
especially when I moved here to Norway and I see like this vast difference between us and
the Norwegians
and all of that. But I mean, if you are Christian,
these things don't really matter.
They don't matter.
Yeah, you just have to be humble.
I'm saying
to learn.
You should all be ready to be
accommodate,
and to accommodate certain things. And then
understanding
by the first 3-4 years, you would have come to that level where you are all settled and you know what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, thank you very much. So if you are married to somebody from a different culture, a different tribe, a different country, you just have to bear with them and make sure that these things are not splitting you, but rather bringing you together because you're going to learn a lot from each other's culture.
Now I know a lot of Senegalese dishes, local dishes.
Wow.
I know them.
Even watches the Senegalese series.
Wow. She forced you.
Even though he doesn't speak Wolof or understand it.
I don't speak French, but
you still watch it. So how was your life during your singleness stage? And how is that different as a couple?
Organized, disorganized.
That's a good summary.
Okay.
It was a bit challenging in the beginning trying to accommodate disorganized men. But now he's getting organized.
That's good.
You know, and then sometimes I feel I'm very disorganized.
Right.
So it's like now I understand. You know, not everything. You will not get everything prepared. Like you will not get everything right. You know, perfect. The way. When I was single, you come to my house. Everything is on point, in place. When I give birth, it's a different story. Yeah. You know, not that it's all messed up, but like you sometimes see some toys here and it's something that doesn't sit well with me most of the time. But with him I learned to let things go and take it easy and not be too stressed. Right, when I was single, my lifestyle was similar. It's family time, work, family time, church. And it's the same even here. We go to church, we make friends there. So we surround ourselves with Christian friends, so we do not corrupt our teachings. Okay.
For me, I would say, just like I said, I've been in the world quite some time. So it's been like a changing phase for me, even as a single person. Before, during my university days and even some years afterwards, it was more fun, going to the club and going to bars and parties, and then it got to that point where like I decided to turn back to my God because things were not going well, and everything changed. And from that point, it's just almost been like what she said. It was just work, church. I was working for myself in Ghana, so I was very busy with work, because I was the production manager, I was the general manager, I was
Everything.
the accountant, and
Oh my God. Busy life.
So it was
I asked him
just
to recruit me as his admin.
Really?
He said, I will spoil the business.
the other thing that I would add is having friends or visiting friends. Yeah, we have a lot of friends that we visit,
And they visit
and they
you.
also visit.
So you got that social life
Yeah.
still going on.
It's important. The thing is, having the right friends.
Yes, the right friends.
Because that's one thing you have to pray to God. Meeting the right people.
Yeah.
But destiny helpers,
Right.
being a destiny helper to someone, it's not just like helping financially or what, but like even advices you get from you.
Yeah. And
Learning
for
from
instance, you being on the show, when we invited you on a very short notice, you have been a destiny helper to our ministry.
Oh well, I'm blushing. Well, it's important. I remember when we got married, we were like, we want our marriage to be an example to many people.
Right.
First to our children, and then to anyone around us. And thanks be to God, everybody that sees us admires us in some way, you know. We choose our friends as well. So it's not like we open to all, but those we are very close to and open our lives to are people that we see to be God-fearing, who understand us, who understand Christianity, and who also want to be an example.
Right. So, awesome. So, would you say singleness is better than marriage, or vice versa?
Never. It can never be, because when you are in Norway and it's so cold, a duvet alone is not enough.
Right. You need somebody to warm you up.
Yes, and I enjoy the help I get from my husband.
Right.
He is the most helpful person I have ever met.
Right.
You know, and he sacrifices for us a lot. Him being here is a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have achieved what I have achieved today if I was single.
Right.
So there are benefits in getting married, and for people who see it as something very scary, you need to renew your mind, because marriage is a journey, and it's fun when you meet the right person. And I met my right person.
Yeah, I think that's the key word.
Yes,
that's the key word. You know, I was saying to my husband that the way we depend on him so much for support and all the things that he does, I don't think if you are a lazy man, you can probably survive in your marriage.
No.
If you're not handy, like as a man, you have to know so many things. You have to be very handy and very responsible. If not,
I like the way
you struggle.
I like the
in your
way
marriage.
you put it. Yeah, it's really important to have a handyman.
Yeah, because we depend so much on them. So, and there are some women too, they make their husbands feel as if they don't need them.
Yeah.
But seriously, we need
each
men.
other.
We need them
we really
seriously.
need each other.
What I'll add to what she said is that every individual should know that life is in stages.
Yeah.
You can't be a toddler forever.
Yeah.
God has a cycle, and that's how life is. Even if you can go like Methuselah, you'll still pass. So know that when you are single, that is the time that God has designed for you to be single.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to the stage where you need to find a partner and settle, don't dwell in your singleness. And go like, for instance, I like my space, and so I don't want somebody to come in and share my space. There are people who like their spaces, they build mansions, and
they can't live.
They can't live. And so know that when it is time for you to be married, transition.
Yeah.
regardless of the fears and everything, transition, move. Because you can't be single forever. The same way you will be married, you will have kids, you'll get to the time the kids will go and it'll still be the two of you.
Yeah.
Understand that life is in stages.
Yeah.
And always live according to the stage that you are in.
Yeah.
If you're not ready for marriage, enjoy being single.
Yeah.
But when it is time for you to be married, don't entertain fears and don't listen to all the statistics about marriages getting failed and all of that. Even if it is 0.11% that goes to death do them part, count yourself
as part of that.
Powerful. And move on to that stage.
Powerful. I think this is what I'm gonna leave this interview with. It will never leave me. When you are single, if you're not ready for marriage, enjoy being single. But when it's time to transition. Yeah.
Do well not to miss the two.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people who are married and still want to live
be single.
a single life.
Yeah.
It can't work out that way.
Right.
No. You can't, for instance, have a kid or two kids and expect that you close from work
and go and party,
or your wife will close from work and she has to go home alone, go take care of what you eat and everything, and you go and party and you come home drunk and all of that and expect to have a happy home.
No.
Sometimes men complain that women, they nag and all of that and they can't have peace and everything. I've always been happy closing from work and going home.
Yeah.
There's never been a single day where I feel like I've closed from work and I want to continue working or I want to go elsewhere apart from going home.
Yeah.
I've always been happy because if you give your wife that kind of happiness, she will definitely also give you that back. Yes. And why won't you be happy going home?
Yeah.
You'll be happy.
Yeah.
But don't think that you close from work, you go to your side chick. For instance, she calls you, you don't pick up, you put off your phone and you make her suspect, even if she's not caught you red-handed, you make her suspect that you're having an affair and think that you will come home to a happy home. It doesn't work that way at all.
Yeah.
And so sometimes men do that, and when they get home and they are met with
an angry wife
anger, they feel like, oh, my wife gets angry for nothing and all of that. Don't stay in that olden days. Don't stay in that kind of life that nobody would love to have and think that you push that down the throat of your wife and expect that she will
not vomit.
No. It doesn't work out that way. Make her happy and you also be a happy man.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is very inspirational. I hope you guys are taking notes, especially our men. You can't live a double life. You are, if you are single, just enjoy that stage. Once you transition, know that responsibilities have increased and focus on that marriage to make it work at all costs. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you believe in marriage preparation? Do you think people should prepare for marriage?